You are far smarter than you can ever imagine. There is no obstacle that you cannot overcome, no problem that you cannot solve, and no goal that you cannot achieve by applying your mind to your situation. Go on and
Good morning. Good morning, y'all.
Was that your cum phase or cum
No.
orgasm?
No. I don't even know what that looks like anymore. Like, I think I never knew what it looked like. But no. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Happy Monday. It's Kiki and Tone, who is not here. So y'all keep him. Y'all don't forget what he looks like because he'll be back. He's handling some business. So it is just me, and my skin colleague to my right, Mr. Magic Eraser. Good morning. How are ya?
Fine.
What? That don't sound fine.
I'm fine.
That don't sound fine. You got your little dumb Raven shit on today. You need to be smiling.
You got your silly Cowboys hat on.
I do. You know why?
Because what?
Because we won a game. Well, not even only because we won a game. It's because it's Monday, after the day after NFL Sunday, and it is in NFL and Victory Monday as well. How did you like that performance from us? Now, I don't want to hear. I'm going to tell you before you get started, right? I don't want to hear you're supposed to win that game. Yes, we were supposed to win that game, but they didn't even pinch us. They didn't even show up and pinch us. Did you watch the game?
I saw a great movie, so no, I didn't care.
You didn't watch it? I watched your game. You know, I chose to watch you guys' game over the Commanders game. I did. I felt like I caught you guys first. The Steelers game. Sorry, for the Steelers game. I wanted to see the Steelers game. More than I wanted to see you guys' game. But then I saw their slow start. Then I saw Steelers doing Steelers. And then I saw you guys take off like a bat out of hell. Not mad. Okay, OBJ, I see what you was doing. You happy?
With that game, I left there feeling okay. So with the other two losses, I felt that they were stolen from us, and I was really upset. But this game, no, I felt like the Browns came in. We knew what we were dealing with. So with them, and then this Thursday, against the Bengals. We're having the entire state of Ohio this week.
Y'all are.
And
they coming. They came.
Yeah,
they're showing
coming.
Up.
Well, the Bengals, I don't know what the hell they were doing. Losing to Houston of all teams.
Right.
Well, let me correct that. Houston has improved since early this year, so I give them credit.
Okay.
But yeah, Cleveland, after we gave them a good ass whooping, I figured I knew they were coming back in return to do something, and I never took them lightly. No one took them lightly.
Okay.
So I felt like this was what the commentator said. This is an AFC North battle.
No, it
We
is.
are the best team we're the best, division in the entire league, and this proves it. So
Well, I will say, I worry about your division in a positive way. I worry for other people that have to play you guys during your season. Like cold weather is y'all season, and I worry. I thought it was a little early for the Ravens yesterday, because the weather here was very different than in Ohio. So I felt like I wasn't sure. But it's y'all season, it's y'all time, and I really feel for people who have to play y'all who in those sunny areas. Like it's not a joke. It's 30 degrees outside now. That's all listen. This morning I got up 3:30 this morning, and I was like, I heard the news say it was going to be cold, and still, I left out the house with only this on to go to work. Didn't take my squeegee, didn't take my little scraper, none of that stuff. And I have a full-size SUV, so everything on my truck was frozen. Then I had the colossal trust to go inside, and to go inside my job and lock my keys in the car. This morning. No, right. Luckily for Ford, people don't like Ford because they claim that Fords break down. Luckily for Ford has a chamber on the side, like a key code. Put your key code in, and you in there. So luckily for me, I still remember that. But it's cold outside. I'm gonna talk about the Commanders game really quickly. Tone is not here for me to look him in the face, look him in the eyes. That was a good game. They played it. I haven't seen them going overtime for a good game in a long time. Good game. Did you watch that?
again, I went to see a movie.
You went to the movies.
Yeah,
What you go see?
I saw the Marvels.
Of course you did. So you sacrificed an NFL Sunday
Okay. The only game I cared about was Ravens Browns. And then after that, I didn't give a shit. I mean, the Sunday Nighter was shit, and it proved it.
Yeah.
So, surprised enough, last season was Amazon's getting into shitty games. I think Sunday Night Football's been getting into some of the shitty games lately.
Do you not want the Jets to persevere? Do you not want them to?
I don't give a crap. I mean, the Jets.
What's wrong with you? You need some ass. What's wrong with you this morning? What's wrong? You need some? Ty birthday was Friday.
Happy birthday, Ty.
I just want you to know.
She doesn't show up. She don't care about me.
She doesn't show
anyway.
up. She doesn't show up.
She didn't care about my birthday. So anyway. No, I planned this anyway because I felt like one. I wanted to see the Marvels, and it's a good movie, so I recommend it. So it's a nice, fun escape movie, and that's what I did. Need to escape. So.
Another thing to tell you is that Detroit won. Hey.
Barely.
Detroit, no, barely. Oh, hi. Oh, how do you know? How do you know?
I saw
You
the
went to
highlights
movie.
of it.
That's your movie.
Yeah, I saw the highlights.
I keep going to say Brit Radio, Beltway and Beyond News Blotter. We have 2 more weeks of in jail for Facebook. So, what I hope and pray and wish is that everybody who is an avid supporter and family member of the show won't give up on us. You will stick this out with us and ride it and just put some money on our books. Come and see a nigga sometime.
And vote for Tone and the Belties, the new Belties.
I'm going to get to that.
Yes.
I'm going to get to that. So I hope that happens. I hope you guys will stick it out and bear with me and just keep me in prayer as I sit over here and I'm used to having a co-host. I have to go back to being singular for a while, and I'm trying to work that out because the way I write these shows is I write them for the with the animation of Tone in mind. So I got to go back to I'm not a yeller. I might be a yeller in Tone's absence. I might be a yeller. I might be that. But just give us another 2 weeks, y'all. We'll be back on Facebook. And I know that's an easier platform for people to jump on because it's Facebook. But Twitch, Twitter, and YouTube are up and running. So however you got to see us, you need to see us. You need to see us. The Seahawks. Geno Smith. Did you change your mind?
I mean, he's a good quarterback. I mean, I felt like he's a good replacement, that they could find since getting rid of Russell. So, I mean, he's, mind you, I think he was last year's comeback player of the year. And, so, I mean, I think for Seattle, it's a good thing. Mm-hmm. So, I think I want to say the biggest surprise. I felt like for the AFC West, I think it'll be interesting because, the Niners have finally woke up, beating up on the Jags. But I think, going towards, this second half of the season, I think the NFC West will be mildly interesting. I'm actually kind of surprised the Rams. I don't know what the Rams are doing. Rams, I think, are done. I don't know. Last week, Stafford didn't play, which I didn't. I was surprised. And now coming off the bye week, it was kind of. I think they're going to be doing a lot of soul searching. Like I said, they bought their title. They got a lot of free agents in, and a lot of those free agents are getting banged up. So it's to win that title, and they're aging free agents. So yeah.
Everyone that I look to, and I have, I look for now. I'm trying to find new players to be excited about. Honestly, I really try that, and I don't know if that's the girl in me. I do watch and see what they wear. I do see how the body is shaped. I do see if that thing is thing. I do check that, but I look for new people, and Detroit number 11 has my interest. I forget his name, but he's extremely fast. I forget his name. If you could just help me out with that. But he is adorable, and I'm on his line. Number Flowers from the Ravens. I'm on his line, and I'm new to him. I just try to see, and I try to start with running backs. Receivers is next, but I try to start with running backs. I try to see who and how, and just because this sport, as long as I watch it, and we're aging, they're gonna be replaced. So I like to keep ahead of the game. Could you find his name for me? Is that EEF or IEF?
KALIF Raymond.
Oh,
Khalif.
Okay.
From Holy Cross or the Patriot League. So.
Okay. Well, I'm on his line, so call me 240-44.
Well, he's a 7-year vet, so he's been here for a while.
So where was he beforehand?
I have no idea.
Ain't you looking?
No, I just saw him. I'm not looking like you.
No. Don't look like me. Look, I wouldn't even known this number if I hadn't looked up from his Yamin. That's what I was looking at.
Jared Goff.
And what about Flowers?
What about him?
What about him? Hey, is he new? What's up?
Yeah, he's a rookie.
Yeah. Okay. No. From where? Well,
he's from Boston College.
You do know that.
Yeah.
So did you find out where Khalif was before? You said he a vet.
Too many things going on here.
What's going on?
All right. Let's see. Oh, damn, he's been everywhere. Okay. He started off as a Bronco.
Okay.
Didn't do shit. He only played 4 games.
Okay.
Here's his stat. He fumbled twice and lost one.
You said 4 games or 4 years?
4 games with the Broncos.
Okay.
That was his rookie year. Then he was with the Jets and the Giants in the same year.
Oh, no.
Then he went to the Titans for 2 years. And he's been with the Lions since 2021.
Okay. I'm on your line, Slim. On your line. Question of the morning, sports-wise. Do you believe... Okay, so there was a post that came out that said, and this is not new news, but they said that the NFL is rigged. And look, we had this conversation prior to today, but they said not only is it rigged, but if you look at when they start promoting the Super Bowl, look at the colors of the Super Bowl sign, it'll tell you who's in the Super Bowl.
What, the new logo one?
With the logo, because the logo has those colors on it, and it'll tell you. Look up last year's logo. and it's supposed to tell you who the Super Bowl team is. So supposedly this year it's supposed to be the Ravens and I think the Eagles. No, the 49ers and I think the Ravens. Because I think it's purple and green. They were saying it's going to be the Ravens and the 49ers.
Okay. All right. So last year's had.
Can you?
Wait a second.
And if there's no truth to it, but I'm just telling you this is what I saw. Okay. And I said, dang, I started to call Tone about it and see.
Like I said, the Rams. Well, not the Rams.
Not the Rams.
I mean, no, that was
KC.
No, it was KC and Eagles last year. I'm sorry.
So
that was the color? That logo. Let me correct that. Let me show you last year's because that was 2 years ago.
So okay. No.
So
okay.
This is last year. So I want to show you last year.
You guys won. I figured that if they had a great season though, but I just figured it wouldn't be no other way. And I thought when what you call it went to the Super Bowl that year. When Ben and them went, and I was like,
Yeah. Well, here's last year's ones. I'm sorry.
Okay. See?
So red and greenish, bluish green.
Yes.
Okay.
And who went to the Super Bowl last year?
That was last year's Super Bowl.
No, I'm telling. Who went?
Eagles and Chiefs.
You see this?
All right. Let me see the last one. So this year's version.
I think it got some truth to it. And this year it's supposed to be I told you the 49ers and the Ravens.
Okay.
And if that happens, John, I'm giving it up. I'm gonna join Chip and start doing what's the name of this stuff? Not coupling. This thing. Look, pushing. I'm gonna start going to this pushing. What is it?
I have no
This
idea.
the ice thing. Come on. You forget the chip chat.
Shaking or I don't know.
It's
here's this year.
See that? 49ers and see? Look, I can't make this stuff up. I can't make it up. Okay. So it's either going to be the Vikings or it's going to be you guys. And if that happens, I'm done. I'm so freaking done.
We'll see.
Okay. Well,
I mean, Niners Ravens repeat will be interesting. So.
Well, speaking of awards and scripted, the Belties is not. I don't know. Rip Radio to me seemed to be scripted a couple times. It seemed to be fixed. I ain't gonna hold you. I felt like it was fixed a couple times, but I still had my hand in it every year since I've been here, and through the support of you guys, I hope that will not change. I'm going to start posting on the page. You can look for it on Beltway Radio and Beyond page. You can look for it on the Real Talk Uncensored page. You can look for it if you follow White Man on his platform, his sports page. You can look for it there. But the Belties is coming up, and it's time to vote. You just got to get that stuff out in those categories, which I was not able to see because last night I was watching footballs and not football, and then not at the movies watching Marvel. So I don't know who's in it, but I'll let you know as soon as we get it. You will see it, and I hope that Real Talk is there. I hope that I'm there. I hope that Tone is there, and you just put your votes in. I think it works the same way, right? You still have to cast your votes, and
and you can do it multiple times
from different platforms.
Yeah.
All right. Well, as I told you before, I'm not gonna do these other sections. No, what do we call them? Shit.
Segments.
Let me drink more coffee. Until Tone is here. But I do want to tell y'all, I'm going to do Niggas Gonna Nigga this morning because I showed, I sent White Man this video, and I hope you can pick it up. I'm going to read you the story first, then we can have the video to show you because you're not going to believe it until you can see it. Here goes. It went down at the Olivet Baptist Church in Chattanooga, Tennessee, Sunday, when suddenly one guy comes up to another sitting in the front row and starts swinging. In church, y'all, the guy who was sitting there instantly fully engages, and the two go off screen as they continue punching each other. Bishop Kevin Adams, who is a saint, tries tries in vain to stop the fighting, saying, "Stop it, Marcus! Marcus, come on!" It's unclear how long the fight went on because someone pulled the plug on the church's live stream. So they was on live stream, and the preacher was preaching, and these two dudes get up and start fighting. I don't know if y'all saw that. I don't know. But please, if you just wait in 1 second while he pulls this up, we got a video of it. Because I never in the history of anything. So he said he had just hold on. So Marcus, the bishop said afterward that the man in the white t-shirt had just gotten out of rehab and beelined it for the youth pastor. So the one he hit that's sitting is the youth pastor who was sitting in the front row. The bishop insinuates the man in the white tee may have relapsed because he says the guy didn't know where he was. The bishop says they were able to calm the man down, and he broke down in tears, and he says he's going back to rehab, and the church is fully in support of him. So I guess when if you can't believe it with your ears, you definitely can believe it with your eyes. Good morning, Mona. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. And as Chip has said, that the polls closed. No, what? November 15th. We only got 2 days to vote.
Yes, you only have 2 more days.
What in the sand? What? Oh no. What?
Well, you got to calculate because the December 2nd is the event. So
why did stuff come up so fast? And why we didn't get? It's supposed to have been a big deal.
Yeah, it's a big deal. It's still a big deal.
I mean, the people that work here are supposed to. All right.
Yeah,
all right, I'm gonna write my.
today.
I had to write my.
Write to your congressman.
I gotta write my congressman. Tone is up for personality of the year. Best. He said best personality.
Yeah.
Let me not speak on this. I had to put the shit up. I didn't look at it. I caught wind of it. So let me not speak and sound stupid. I have to look at it. Good morning, church, for your safe return to Book of Faces. Thank you, praying. Thank you. I hope video doesn't get us in trouble too. It's no cursing in the video, so I hope not.
Yeah, this is actually.
Let me move on. Never mind.
Move on. Well, we'll show it. We'll show it once I pop it up. So.
Yeah, everything is okay. So, other niggas in other nigga news, 2 men were arrested Wednesday after stolen packages of oxtails were found in the car during a traffic stop in Cyprus. They were also packages of shrimp and steak found in the car, according to the pictures posted by the Harris County Constable Precinct. Deputies said the meat was stolen from different local stores. It's unknown what charges the 2 men face. Niggas still stealing seafood and shrimp and oxtails. When I tell you all the pictures, I don't know. Well, I won't even ask you for the picture. Never mind. Let me move on. Never mind. This is not gonna go well today. I can see now. In other news. Oh, the mayor of a small city in Alabama died by suicide. He was transgender online. So
then him trying to do what he did. I mean, fearing the fact of that. I mean, I don't know why he would do it. I mean, I think he should have tried to find more support for it than being in his head and being fearful of the fact of wanting to kill himself. Because I just think it's I mean, in this day and age, it's there are communities that would help him overcome this, and I think having someone in a political position would have helped him prevail. So,
what are you saying?
What I'm saying is, I really think it's kind of unfortunate that he would do that. Be fearful of the ridicule of him doing what he's doing. I mean, we just, in Virginia recently, they people voted in a transgender person into their state senate. So, I mean, likelihood things are progressing in that aspect. So I just don't understand the fact of him being fearful. Mind you, I know it's the South and they have that Bible Belt bullshit. So, but I just still feel like I think he would have been highly supported more so than he would have been ridiculed.
Okay, so this is Real Talk Uncensored, right? So here's my thought. That's a him thing. Him doing that is a him thing. I feel like before you climb into just hear me out. Before you climb into these positions, knowing that you this thing already, you already like women clothes, you already feel like a woman, you already live your life at that, except when you go to work. So when you have these things going on already, and then you show up to go to work every fucking day, and then you put yourself in these positions, I don't understand how this could be the end result of that. That's a him thing. Like I killing yourself because you are who you are. Like especially in this climate, we've been people have been outed and people have been living their truth for at least the last 5 to 7, 8, 9 years with no I'm not gonna say event free, but I mean, with it being uneventful, you can come out and you can be whatever. The fact that you're voted into these places, it's a you thing. I think you hinder yourself from succeeding in these areas. What I hate about this, I'm telling you what I hate about this, and condolences to his family and the people that know him. Condolences. However, I feel like it's gonna be put that because he felt, he feared, or that fear was real, or that somebody was gonna not accept him, that it's then gonna be put back on the people who don't understand his lifestyle, which got nothing to do with the job you do. That's why I don't understand why you felt the need to put that out there. Like it has nothing to do with your fucking lifestyle. The picture that he had, I don't know, and if correct me if I'm wrong, the pictures that you post and the things that you say, even off work, they're gonna show up everywhere. So when you do that, there's no expectation of privacy. You understand what I'm saying?
I trust me. I understand it. Being in the political, especially political office, public office. I mean, you're pretty much exposed right from the bat. That's why Donald Trump thinks he's, he thinks he's, protected all the time. But the dude is like, dude, once you step out of, getting into public office, everything's open, everything's exposed. So in case with this gentleman, I think he understood that, but I just felt like I really believe the fact that I really think it was just unfortunate that he didn't expect a good support for it. I think that's the thing. I think he was more concerned about the ridicule than trying to get the support.
So that's what I'm saying. So then you supposed to live your life in that direction. If those things plague your mind every day and you're concerned that you're not going to get support, you don't post the shit online. You don't go in those positions where you understand that not everyone is going to support you.
Well, no, because I think, like I said before, you have to. I think this day and age, there's a lot of transgender or cross-dressing or whatever situations. The LGBT community, it's growing, and having a political figure in high positions, being a mayor, like I said, state senator, who knows, president. I mean, you having people, because again, you view it as thinking it's just like, oh, you're nasty, you're ugly.
Who's viewing it like that?
A lot of people.
You're saying me. You're saying me.
I'm not saying you. I say like I'm just pointing in the direction.
No, you said you. You said you're viewing it as. That's what I'm like. Wait a minute. No, don't put that on me.
No, okay. Let me rephrase.
People.
The people. There are people out there who will view people. Who view politicians who are presenting themselves in a sense, and wanting to say, hey, I let you know, this is who I am. You're voting this person into your office. Whatever I do outside of this office, it will not affect what I do in this office. And that's pretty much what he should have implemented that more. But unfortunately, I think, like I said, whatever got into his head to think of all the ridicule he's going to get, and I think that's the unfortunate thing. There should be more of a support system for that, and I think it's kind of, like I said, it's highly unfortunate that happened that way.
I think that now the rubber starts meeting the road. because it's no thought given to ladies when they strip and they get caught up. It's no thought to that. It's no people didn't understand when with that teacher that got fired from having an OnlyFans page because she was a teacher. There was no thought to that. You know what I'm saying? But I feel like we all have to walk with the same idea that what the fuck I do outside of here can affect me. Let me finish. What I do outside of my job can come back and haunt me. You see, I don't come in here with no paraphernalia, with nothing on that says no logos. They have a dope ass gift shop at my job, and they got so much stuff. But my company's name is all over everything, and I know for a fact that I am not the quintessential cookie cutter hospital employee when I leave that job. So I cannot wear that. You understand? But I think a lot of people in this lifestyle probably got cute and thought honestly that you do get a lot of passes. You do, because the world is very supportive of you. You do get a lot of passes. I think he didn't get the memo. Like he could have just been that and still been that. You're there. Your work ethic speaks for it. The job that you do got you nominated in this position. Like, so whatever you're doing outside of here, it's a him thing. It's a him thing. But honestly, some of that shit needs to. The generations now put so much of their business out on the street. Y'all need to stop doing that shit. We don't give a fuck what you dress like. Your friends care. The nigga that you deal with care. The bitch that you deal with care. Your mom cares. I don't care if I walk down the street and I see 17 men dressed like women. I don't give a fuck, as long as they not my man. I don't care. So I feel like we have to stop thinking that sharing all the time is fucking caring, because it's not. A lot of people don't care what you eat. They don't care where you eat it at. Like we're going to go into the big thing about the whole Cheesecake Factory thing. Did you see that whole viral sensation where the girl got in the car? Did you see that? Where the lady got in the car and went on a date.
We were here from the beginning, yeah.
Yes, and refused, like that type of thing. Why? We have to be more careful and selective of what you share. Nobody gives a fuck.
Okay.
At the end of the day.
All right. I'm going to say it again. He's in a public figure. So when it comes to, especially with politicians, their exposure is completely different than any normal person, or let's say an influencer.
How so?
How so? Because it's like the people need to know who they're voting for.
Oh, yeah? Keep in mind you said that.
Okay.
Keep going.
Okay. By stating that, I think this day and age, like I said, this is not like the 1950s. In the 1950s, I know full well that they tried to hide everything, of how, want to have this squeaky clean image for this particular person to be in political office. And they've kept that model for a very, very long time. But it gets to the point where it's like, as the years go, so does technology, and so does media, and how they want to know more about a certain individual, to that way for people to understand them a bit better. Because let's even date back to when, the colonized eras and stuff like that. The best way to know an actual person during political season is when they dish out a book. That's how that's how you got to know the person. They're not traveling all the time. They pretty much just like, hey, read my book, or in a way that was their pamphlet at the time, and it was probably not that big. It's like a novel or anything like that. It's just a simple fact. It's like, hey, okay, this is what this person's all about. It's so that way figures like, yeah, we can vote for it, blah blah blah. So when it came time to vote, they read the books and move on. But like I said, as time progressed, so with news media, with newspapers, and then radio, and now television, and now the internet, metaverse and stuff like that. Yes, things get more exposed. So the thing is, the ideology of trying to have this squeaky clean image to be presenting to the world is completely out the window, because of the simple fact that there's a lot of people who want to know you, and if you try to hide just an inch of anything, it will still be exposed.
Okay, so remember you said that, right?
Yeah.
So to your first point, you said We need to know who we're voting for. We still don't know. There's so much corruption and stuff going on. You don't know who you're voting for. The narrative is then set, and you sit just like Whitney Houston. The narrative was set. She tried to live within that box, and it did not happen. However, the contradictory part of your statement is that when we found out who we was voting for, because Donald Trump didn't hide who he was, we hated him. He exposed exactly what he was. Let me finish. Exactly who he was, how he was, and what he was. And that was too much. So where's the middle? And I think, honestly, reading a book, that could be... the narrative could be given in that too. Everything that that people share with you, they're the gatekeepers of. So we can. You ever had a resume that you read and you was like, what the fuck? And it just all meant that this person was a janitor. But all of this verbiage, it boosted them up. That's what we get every day of the week.
That's Josh McDaniels.
Yes, that's what we get every day of the week. So if you think if we ever care. And if you ever feel like I care who you sleep with, therein lies the problem. If you think that I care that my senator, unless it's a distraction from, if your lifestyle is causing a distraction in your job that you're paid to do, then I don't want to know about that shit, or I'm going to speak about it, or you need to say something. If you cannot thoroughly do your job and not go to whatever you go to, do it, dress the way you dress. If you can't do it, get the fuck on. And then I want to know. But if you can dress in your women's clothing and you can tiptoe around your nigga all you want to and you still get the job done, no one cares. No one cares.
Okay. True, no one cares. But let's say back to your, during your example about Donald Trump.
Yes.
Everybody know who Donald Trump was. Everybody. It was so blatant. And it's like, if you don't, I would understand someone who's a millennial, but you and I, let's agree, we lived through his bullshit.
No, that's true. However, it depends on what side of the penny he was on, because I'm going to tell you something. We lived through it, and he was very transparent about who he was, but if you had money and you was on his show and he was in your rap video, then you fucked with him. You didn't mind that he didn't like black people at his hotel, or he treated them poorly. Like, that didn't come out until the fact that now he's a Republican and now he's in office and we don't want him.
But again, if you follow the trail, the storyline of Donald Trump from the 80s to now, keep in mind, he was a Democrat.
Yeah.
And then the reason why he switched, because he didn't like the Clintons anymore, because the Clintons didn't want his support.
Yes.
So pretty much it's that aspect. But the point is, the fact is, like I said, is things will get exposed. If you don't come out truthfully, perfect example would be a date. Now, everyone is the fear factor of, it's just like, okay, the one question is always like, what's your true intentions on this date? Some can say either A, I want us to, get to know each other, try to build a life, see where this goes. Or B, hey, I just want to fuck. Which would we rather hear, or better yet, which would you rather say? So most of the guys is like, hey, I'm trying to get to know you, blah, 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 blah. But really, in their back of their minds, it's like, damn, this girl's fine as fuck. I just want to bang that ass. But again, we don't know how publicly that will be received.
Oh, again, that's a
you
thing. Again,
yeah, it's an us thing.
Yes.
But again, but trying to understand, at least between one person and a mass majority, is completely different. So with one person, at least you can see him face to face and get the idea and the initial reactions of certain comments. So that way you can, play it the way you need to play it. When you're dealing with a mass majority that you don't see consistently, the thing is here is it's like, okay, how...
And what mass majority are you speaking of? You talking about
the voters. Let's say,
okay.
in particular,
Okay.
the only time you probably see certain voters is if you go to a debate or a town hall, whatever. Mm-hmm. But then again, that's not everybody in the community. It's a selective few. So, and you'll see initial reaction then. But if you're seeing everybody else, either you see your supporters, which is a good majority of that, or you'll see those who oppose you, which will be probably depending on what venue you're at. You'll get that type of initial reaction. But in a mass, no, you're not going to know what they're thinking and stuff like that, especially if you try to expose yourself.
But when you're doing those type of things, that's a given. I don't know what you're thinking. I find out when I find out.
Right.
Like if this is your thing, this is your jam, you do that. Mm-hmm. Honestly, be the gatekeeper. Understand that these people in 2020 anything, all y'all do is tell y'all business. And honestly, and it's showing you that that's not the right way to be the gatekeeper over your shit. And give and share what is in line with whatever we're doing. Just share that. And it's a you thing if you think that I want to know who you sleep with. It's a you thing if you think that your transparency in your bedroom is my business. It's a you thing. And that's because we out here on social media, we started to do the sheep thing. We started to take on people's ideas and of everything instead of our own. I'm not sharing shit with you. It's not your fucking business.
True, but I rather, let's say again in political aspects. It's like I say, it's completely different how it is with a normal individual.
It's not.
Because you say it isn't, but there is a difference here. Because again, it's like they have to be presented. They're presented on a consistent basis. You're not the only thing with, let's say, for you or Tone is you try to maintain the image because, mind you are public figures. Mm-hmm. But the thing is like you're presenting yourselves like, hey, we're exposing this aspect. We want to be entertaining and things of that nature, mm-hmm. and we'll tell you what we tell you when we feel like it, which is understandably fine. But the thing is like not everyone is fully digging into your business because of the fact that it's like
that you know of.
That you know, true. But the thing is like compared to, let's say, DJ Envy right now going through his mess. Yes. Okay, he's constantly putting himself out there all the time. And and promoting and stuff like that, but then getting to a little trouble. The worst thing when it comes to news, when you're a part of a news type of thing, is the number one rule is don't be the news. You can report it, just don't be it. And the unfortunate thing is he's being in it, and he's beating it several times.
Well, again, that's a him thing. Because you become. I'm not saying that whenever me and Tone become mass public figures that we won't change. We won't change what we share. Mm-hmm. I think I set the tone now. I'm gonna share with you what I'm comfortable sharing. Like in whatever I share with you, that is, I'm okay with that. You know what I'm saying? I live my life because I've done it since I've had children. And my father told me don't regret nothing. Mm-hmm. Whatever you do, I'm controlled. I try to control what I do, which is why you won't never secretly run up on me snorting a line of coke, because I don't snort coke. And if I did, I probably would slip it in there and say it sometimes, or my action would show it. I don't do things that can catch up with me like that because the bigger picture is the bigger picture. And I think in this instance, let's go back to the senator. Was it the senator we talking about?
He's a mayor.
The mayor who didn't keep in line the big picture.
I think he did. Like I said, I think he did.
Why he dead then?
Why he's dead again, like you said, it's in his head. It was all, because
he didn't keep in mind the big picture is what I'm telling you.
I think, again, I really feel, like I said, I really think in this day and age it's unfortunate that there wasn't good support for him in this aspect because of him coming out this way or something finding out this way. I really think like I said, if this was during the 70s, between the 50s and the 80s or something like that range, hearing something like this is like, it'll be shocking. But now it's kind of like, the shocking part is, why would he kill himself? When there's a bigger, more support now than there was back then.
So I'm thinking that we can keep an eye on this story. Something more will come up because he definitely couldn't write the narrative. He did. So we can only speak on why we would think that he did it. Like, unless you wrote and narrated a letter and then I was there to see you leave it, Because we can all think that, like, once your page come out, 2 and 2 be making 4 like shit. But then you forgot to carry the 1 in some instance, or there was a decimal in front of the, you know what I'm saying? There's a lot of things that could just take place. I feel like it was a him thing. You got ahead of yourself. You didn't really think this thing out. You know, you can live your own truth. You can, but you got to stand 10 toes on that shit. And when you stand 10 toes on it, you will not make everybody happy. I every single day I live my life, I know for a fact that there's somebody who's not gonna like what I do, not gonna like what I say, and this is in all aspects of my life. And for me to pursue this arena or that area or that avenue, I can't care. The big picture, he lost sight of the big picture, and I hope you understand what I'm saying. He lost sight of it. That's why he's not here no more. Hate that, and it's very unfortunate. It's very unfortunate. Okay, looks like we mad at a few things. We mad at a few people, y'all. We mad at Jay-Z, who said he don't like family functions because he gets tired of his family begging for money. Do you understand his plight? As a billionaire.
Yeah, I understand it. I respect that. I mean, because there's a point in time where you sort of like, you worked hard for your money. You're trying to continue to provide for your own family, not the relatives. So, I worked hard for me. I'll give you some. I'll provide you with a little bit here and there, not all the time. So I get it. So I understand.
So I'm split on it. I'm gonna tell you why I'm split. And at first glance, when I was reading the story, I was like, man, that's wrong. Like, you, whatever. Because I put myself in a relative's shoes. If Jay-Z was my cousin and I wanted this thing, I want a Real Talk Uncensored to get off the ground and really, really be something. I'm not lying to you. I won't lie to you and tell you that I wouldn't present my plight to him and say, hey, cuz, look, I think we got something good over here, but we having some problems. Like, we ain't taking off as fast as we would like it to. I think we got something good. I probably would have asked for not straight money, but what I could do to get him to, I don't want to say sponsor or put me in touch. Like, I have other ways of, I'm a Capricorn, so we don't never ask for money, but I have other ways to find out, like, do you know somebody that do this that I could talk to or something like that? I'm not going to tell you I wouldn't do that. And I think that a couple hundred times, it probably would get tiresome. But at the same token, this is where I'm split at. As a billionaire, somebody took their chances on you. Somebody somewhere believed in whatever it was, and I know he made his money through the crack game and all that stuff, but there's still somebody in there. There's crackheads who took their chances on you and gave you their money. Like, there's always somebody who helped you up the rung of the ladder, and I feel like as a billionaire, these things are written off expenses. These things could be written off. I'm sorry, I'm not saying that they are because I'm not a billionaire, but I'm sure these things can be written off. I know these things can be investments. And I feel like he wrong to, like, not show up at family functions just because of that. You can't take it with you.
That's why they call it inheritance. You give it to your kids. So, if you go, I understand helping once in a blue moon, but the thing is like, there'll be people who you give them an inch, they'll take an entire football field.
Yeah.
So I think for Jay-Z, it's understandable. I think for him, right, not just Jay-Z himself, even Beyonce, it's like you get to the point where it's kind of like, there'll be people who try to talk to Beyonce to get to Jay to help him do this. And it's like, and I mean, mind you, we see this like on sitcoms and stuff like that, that one quote unquote relative who always has these schemes or these investment things and come, constantly. So I got this thing, can you help me out with it, blah, blah, blah. And that didn't work. Can you help me out with this new one? I got this great idea, stuff like that. I get it. I think I understand the fact of, Jay-Z's like, nah. I mean, instead of just like, hey, you want to see Blue, you want to see, and all this stuff. No, you don't want to see, our kids. You don't want to talk to me about, how things going. No, all right, keep it moving. Because the unfortunate thing is being a celebrity is that sometimes your family views you as a celebrity more so than a family member, which is kind of sad.
You have to, because there's no way Sean Carter can go anywhere and be Sean Carter. You're Jay-Z. You've even become that to me, even though you're still Sean. Like, at this point, you're one of the biggest celebrities on the planet. You understand what I'm saying? Brittany said that, I respect that. That's whack to keep asking me. Work hard and work with me, but my money isn't to be dished out all while to fund your, and I got something is in it. Oh, to fund your life. Teach a man to fish and he'll never go hungry, says Dame. I feel like that, okay, you're a very special person to be a relative of Jay-Z and Beyonce. You're in a very special predicament, I should say. I don't think it's nothing wrong with trying your hand. If I have a talent, right? I mean, I'm not saying just go and sell snake oil. I'm not talking about snake oil. I'm not talking about Jack and the Beans, those three beans. None of that. I'm talking about, like, you have a valuable, and please, y'all, feel free to call if y'all want to, 301-761-1040. While Tone is not here, I'm opening the call lines very early, y'all, to be able to engage with y'all, since we cannot do it on Facebook. Feel free to call if you have comments. But I feel like you're in a predicament that the 99% of the world is not. And if you have an opportunity and you have a viable talent, something that for real is that you feel like you believe in, and it doesn't hurt. Now, Jay-Z, on the other hand, I know 2 or 3 cousins I can name to you right now that bet not ask me for shit. You know why? Because I've already given you something. You never even given that back. And that's a little bit of nothing. Like, I know people who I can say, fuck no, I'm not giving you nothing. Like, bro, get the fuck. Like, there's people who you can say that to. I know Beyonce has cousins too that ain't shit. But that ain't everybody. And I think when you don't come to these functions and you don't keep up your relationships with your family, and you sit here, it sends messages to people, 1. And 2, you can have all the money, but that love for your family still got to be there. And I think when you don't come to these functions because you're afraid, put your fucking foot down and say, nigga, get the fuck. Like, I ain't got no money. This is Thanksgiving. All I brought was turkey. So don't ask me for shit. Don't ask me for shit. I think that's, I don't know. That's just me. And I feel like, in this life, you're going to get used. Blue Ivy friends who don't have celebrity parents are going to be her friend, befriend her to meet her mother. You know, there are people who are going to befriend Beyonce to meet Jay-Z mother. You know, that's the world we live in. That's the world we live in. So if you had his money, you will feel the same way. Like, no, I'm not giving you shit.
Yeah. Let's say this. In my head, I like I said, you know, whenever the lotteries are in the billions, and if I won that, I know who I would give money to for the reasons I'm giving money to.
Yeah.
And there is a limit. So for those after that, especially when it becomes to family members, it's like, no. It's that's why, when you hear about lottery winners, and especially when they win like the multi-million stuff, you hear the stories of the fact of, it's like they try to help everybody and you end up being broke right after you won those things. So the thing is here is like, know who you're dealing with. And I know who I'm dealing with.
Yes.
So I know my relatives.
Yes.
So Jay-Z knows his relatives, and it feels like, no. I get
all
it.
of them. He doesn't show up for things.
Again,
so people, it cannot be everyone.
True. There probably is maybe a small few, but then still, it's like, the main thing is you either you view him as Sean or you view him as Jay-Z. If you keep viewing him as Jay-Z, I get the fact is like, I ain't showing up.
See, that's what Brittany just said. She said he may even feel like it's fake love, so why be surrounded by that?
Right.
And that sucks. That sucks, because you can't take it with you. Honestly, you can't take it with you. And a lot of times, money, you can have all of it and not have the love of your family, young. And I don't know that life. I don't know that. I know love because I ain't got no money. So I know the love of my family, and I
Things change. Sadly, things change when people make a lot of money.
Yeah, you're right.
So.
And the lottery thing is a good analogy. I'm glad you brought that up because you do find out you got all these cousins you never had. You got these sisters you never had. People will come out the woodwork. It's just when you live your life with that aspect and that thought again, you get out in front of that. Like, look, when I win this lottery, I say every time I play, when I win this, I always say it. Don't ask me for shit. I got you though. I'm gonna take care of those who I know who really need it. Like my father is 70 years old. He's not gonna work anymore. My father, my sister, I will give them a little bit of something, but I know that nigga will come back and I will have it written out. Once I give you this, that's it. My daughters, I love my daughters, and I will set them up so they can turn their own coin. But I do that. I say that now. Like, I try to set them up now with the 3 pennies I got. Just saying. Okay. A restaurant in Georgia has drawn condemnation.
Next year, the daughters are saying, 3 pennies? What the hell?
3 pennies? Oh, 3 pennies.
What can I do with 3 pennies?
Look, that number 2. That number 2, she is something. She was at my house all night last night. That number 2, she is something else. Love her to death. She's a tourist, and all they do is do what she does. Like, I just love her. A restaurant in Georgia has drawn condemnation for instituting a bad parenting fee for adults that bring poorly behaved children to the premises. In addition to noting that there is a gratuity of 20% added to parties over 6 and a share charge of $3 at the fine print. And it's adult surcharges for adults unable to parent their children. You agree or no? Is that right or wrong?
I've done customer service before. I've seen where children act a fool, in restaurants and stuff like that, and their parents cannot. You're disrupting the ambiance. It's mind you, it could be some places are family oriented, so that can subside. But when it's kind of like, you have to be civil, and you try to teach your children, civility, and you can't, you're having a problem with it. And it's like, why did you come to this place? So you really got to. The way I see it is like, yeah, because you're disrupting, your children's disrupting. You're pretty much your server will probably have to be an extra babysitter in a sense. So yeah, I do agree with that policy.
You notice what year this policy is coming out in, right? It's coming out this year in 2023. And Vivian says she understands. In 2023, this has happened because in 1970, 1980, 1990, and 2000, this stuff was not a problem. You know why? Because parents actually parented their children. For me, I'm going to say, when I grew up in the 80s, my parents, they took me to those restaurants on special occasions. My birthday, we were having a retirement party, blah, blah, blah. And my mama had a very, very stern talk with me in the car. My father, all he did was look at me. Like, my parents, they groomed us in-house. At my house, you can't act a fool. At our dinner table, you couldn't act a fool. And I feel like we got away from that. So, of course, kids are going to run around. They're going to spill every goddamn thing they put to their mouth. They're going to throw food and all that. And people, every day of the week, you hear people in there. I don't know how much you eat out, but whenever I do eat out, I hear kids cussing. I hear kids screaming. I see the waiter, the people is banging on the table. Like, there's all kind of unruly behavior. And that's a direct result. Like, it's our fault. We did that. So take the $3, people, and stop being mad. Okay, right or wrong? They destroyed the black image, and now the female image is next. Want me to explain that?
Yes.
Okay, so they feel this is looking back. I'm going to give you a little history about me, right? I had my daughter Brittany at 16, and at 16 I was living with my mother. So 4.5 years later, I had London. So 4.5 years later, I am now an adult, right? And I went and put my name on these apartments to get some income-based apartment so I can get out my mother's house, because now I'm two kids in, I'm not married, I'm trying to do school, and it's not right. To me, I feel like it wasn't right. My mother shouldn't have to endure that. But when I went to apply for these apartments, right, knowing that and these apartments are based upon mothers who have children. You follow me? When they asked if I had a male partner in my life, of course my kid's dad is with me. The questions became different, almost swayed towards trying to dissuade me from having him being there. Like, there were so many negative other areas that this interview went in that I decided, like, nah, he not coming. And I lied. I said he wasn't coming, and I did not allow him to move in with me because I said that on the application. I didn't, because it turned into something else. Now, where I'm going with that is, back in the day, in the 70s and the 60s, from what I understood, that when women were on welfare, they had to kick the man, like, for them to get the welfare, they had to kick the man out, which in turn did something to the male ego. It did something to the masculinity of the man when the woman had to take care of her household because the man was in jail. So that essentially over time gave the male a weaker image in a woman's eyes. You know, not a woman's eyes, but society's eyes. A black man, I'm just say black man, in the society's eyes, where you, if I bring you along with me, I'm being penalized. So you kind of was conditioned to do shit on your own. And then the man, that started to happen to the man. Even when the man got out of jail, and, you know, you seen a surgence of men who drive their women cars, and the woman makes all the money, and the guy kind of sits at home, and, you know, this and that starts to happen. So that is what I mean about destroying the male's image. You follow me there? Do you agree with that? Of course you don't.
I just continue your story.
Okay, so where I'm going with the woman, when I asked about is the female image next, being as though, I don't know if you watched the Essence Awards. They had the Essence Awards, and the Essence Awards for eons has been associated with classy, has been associated with ambiance, it has been associated with, it's one of those very elegant affairs where the who's who of whoever comes out. Like, you get the Maya Angelou's when she was alive. You got these people, very prestigious people that come up. And last year on the Essence Awards, they had somebody twerking and everybody's ass was out, and this and that and that and that. So there became a social media fight back and forth because the millennials were saying, man, they asked her to come there, she should be able to do whatever the fuck she want. And the people who know better, who have been around and understand, I'm not saying that whoever invited her wasn't at fault, so I got that there, but the people who understood, like, everything ain't for everywhere. Like, you can twerk your thing, like Meg Thee Stallion, do your thing, but at the Essence Awards, it's a different thing that they require. And because that wasn't given, of course, there was a separation of opinion. And now, because that makes the most money, that's all that they push out. Coming around to this comment, last week I'm looking, maybe it was this week or this weekend, I'm looking at Instagram and I see Sexy Red. She's pregnant. She is arguably 5, 6, 7 months pregnant. And she's doing a split and she's twerking with her booty out. She got on this scantily clad outfit. She's twerking with her booty out. And of course, that sparks the debate again. And I kept asking myself, why is it that this is what the fuck people think people want to see? Like, why? And I feel like that image, this is what you do to make your money, that's fine. But I feel like when that's not explained to the average woman, and that type of thing garners attention and garners money, the average person is gonna do that, and that's all you freaking see. So therein lies where my question came from. Do you think that the female image, and you being a man, and you know what you see online every time, is under attack, and do you feel like they're trying to destroy the female image? Why do you give me the bored look? Why are you giving me the I'm bored look? Did I do too much talking?
No. I'm digesting what you're saying.
Okay.
And I feel that I don't know who is attacking the female image when it's self-destructing.
Ooh, okay.
So it can be, mind you, you have, you as much as the pro-life, pro-choice battle,
Yeah.
the right to choose, the whole right to choose stuff, the right to vote. That's been you've been fighting for that. You've been fighting for a lot of things for almost over 100 years. 100 years, not 1,000, not in eon. No, just alone in American society, 100, about over 100 years.
Okay.
And so, everyone's complaining. The fact is, like, once you give them some exposure, things of that nature, everyone has a problem of women trying to maintain a certain thing. I have no problem of a woman doing whatever they want to do with their body, what they want to do, how they feel, what they want to say, and stuff like that, because you're an individual. I'm not trying to control that. Mm-hmm. But if you're saying image-wise,
yes,
the image has been slowly deteriorating thanks to housewife shows, thanks to pretty much any woman who feels that they need to twerk wherever they want to do, any non-working human being who claims they're influencing people on buying bullshit that they know full well can't afford, and on top of that, just the whole overexposure of the simple fact of not knowing who you really are, when you know full well you don't really know what's really going on in this planet. Meaning the fact is like, perfect example would be Kim Kardashian.
Okay.
That girl don't know shit. I don't care what anyone says. She's a smart girl. It's like, she's smart up to a point.
Wow.
Okay? People follow her every whim for whatever reason. She herself followed the Paris Hilton playbook until she overpassed that.
Yep.
A lot of people forget that fact. Paris, she evolved. There's a difference. And especially when
she's married, she has a
baby,
now.
all that stuff. She evolved. It took some time, but she at least evolved. Kim, I think she has this up and down thing, but the thing is she's been consistent the way she's been ever since that porn tape with her and Ray J came out. It's just like, look, you're just a pretty girl who everybody just wants to fuck. That's the image that everyone says. So really, to summarize, is this. Like you said before, it's really on that man that has issues with, exposing themselves. It's also that women, in addition to what's going on in society.
So you mean to tell me, because I have 2 points. Let me start with the Kim thing first, because I'm going to get to what you just said. No, I'll go back to Kim thing. But the society thing, what percentage of what you just said has to do with whenever you open up anything, there's one type of woman that's being sent out, that's being highlighted. There's one woman, a small waist, big booty, big hips, big lips, fake this, fake that. That woman is being sent out and is being
manufactured,
politicked, and what part of that is that when you don't see what you don't see? Let's get this for example, bald head man, right? If you never saw another bald head man ever again, right? And you're bald, the world knows you're bald, and I don't know if that is your choice. I'm not suggesting that it's not.
I don't have alopecia.
Okay, I'm just saying. So you're a bald head man, and just imagine you don't see any other bald head man, but you see everybody on here getting these weaves for men. What part of you would entertain the fact that you don't see you anymore getting a weave for a man? Let's be honest.
Honestly, let's say this. It will make people think. It will make me think, and it figures like it will make me think about self-consciously how I feel about myself.
Yes.
But then at the same time, is like, the best way to overcome that aspect is like you're seeing a whole field of white sheep.
Yes.
But you see that black one right there, because that's what people will see, and wonder, it's like, where's that black sheep? What's that black sheep doing? I'd rather be that black sheep.
If the way you set that story up, I'm also attracted to that black sheep, right? But we do know that black sheep get negative connotations. Like
we can get, but again, the thing with that is, it's
like people are strong enough to withstand the negative connotation that comes with being black alone and being the only black.
Right. So unless let's say, with the black sheep, being the black sheep, we'll get all that, mind you, you go back, even back in the days when we were younger, we hear about this, like, oh, you hear about so-and-so, this, the bad sheep, the black sheep of the family. Yeah. That's always been said. Mm-hmm. But the thing is what makes that black sheep stands out, it's not just all the negative shit, is what you're not knowing what this person's done, even though it's like they probably did.
Never even asked, right?
Never asked, never asked. And unless he's like, "What really did you do?" And it's just like, I only did this.
All I did was go back for seconds.
Yeah. So but the thing is like, but that black sheep has done bigger and better things, and everyone hates them for it for whatever reason.
People hate what they don't. Understand.
They don't understand and stuff like that. So with the imagery factor of it, is I just viewed it as like, I'm not following the crowd. I don't need to follow that crowd. That crowd is not for me. I don't need to be influenced whatsoever by somebody who has no idea what I'm about. I don't know what you're about. If you're about this, then you're following somebody else who's following somebody else who's following somebody else. So I'm not doing that.
But the world tends to feel like when you don't follow that, then you're highlighted for those very negative reasons.
Then that again, like you said, that's their problem.
That's a them thing.
That's a them thing.
And how do you, pray tell, think that we can come out of this? Because it is self-destructive. It's our image damaging. It's self-inflicted. We're doing it to ourselves. But what, pray tell, do you think can be done to reverse this, if it can be reversed?
It starts
from I'm asking a man.
Yes. As a man, as a man, not an alpha male, a man. I view it as this. Mm-hmm. I believe that it fully starts with getting rid of the reality shows. It starts with media, because media influences a lot of things, and thankfully, a lot of people know that the actor strike is done. Power to the labor. The thing there is like, what sparked the last strike was these reality shows, and especially with the Housewives, the Basketball Wives, all that bullshit. Mm-hmm. And he a whole bunch of women, non-married, or maybe a very, very few married, and exposing their drama for no apparent reason. Now, mind you, they're the wives of the basketball players or celebrities that we know, but then again, it's like they don't do anything. They just shop and go to world tours and all that stuff. Is that what you want to be exposed on? So, and I viewed it as like, okay, it's great and all, but in the end, I don't see that. But let's hear what the caller has to say. Yes.
Hello. Who we talking to? Hello.
Hi, can you hear me?
I can hear you. What up, though? Good morning.
What's good?
Good. Not a whole lot.
Listen.
Turn your stuff down in the background. I can hear me, please. Or turn your volume down.
Down?
Turn your volume down a little bit.
How's that?
Okay, go ahead. Talk to me.
We don't have a culture as black people, or as Africans in America, or however you want to call it. We don't have a culture. Our culture is mostly associated with entertainment.
Yes.
So those who are in power, they give us our culture.
Yes.
They give us our culture through entertainment. So yes, the image of the black woman is being attacked. And these things happen over a long period of time. It's not something, they're not going to run an attack black people campaign for 2 weeks and then stop. It goes on for years because they want the propaganda to go across the world. They want the world to see black women and black men as little slutty hoes.
Yes.
So you can go in, you can try to, if you want to do a piece of music or take a picture or do an award show, it says, well, I want to talk about restoring the black family. They're going to be like, no, we don't want any content like that because it's not going to go well with your audience because they think they know us better than we do.
And it won't
But
garner.
we
It
rather
won't
have you
garner
get
the
up there and
ratings
shake your butt.
either. It won't garner the ratings that they desire, because at the end of the day, what we forget. I'm sorry to respectfully interrupt you. What we
Yeah.
forget when we get invited to these places and we go is that their image. Their dollar amount is paramount, not the image, not the reputation of the show. It is their dollars.
Yeah. Yeah.
So my
So,
question to Magic Eraser this morning was, um, what do you think, if anything, we can do to can this be reversed? The deterioration of the black female image, can that be? I think the one on the black males, I think that ship is sailed. But what about the deterioration of the black female image? Can that be reversed?
I don't think so, no.
Are you serious?
I'm very serious. Unless they want to go in another direction, then they'll steer her back into being a pristine woman or whatever the case may be. But I doubt that. I think that once the black male image is destroyed, or they want every black man to look homosexual, I think until we get ourselves straight first on the man side, it's not going to happen on the woman's side.
So then let me back up. Can that happen in the male realm? Can that happen? Will that happen?
I don't think so. I think like in small pockets
Okay.
across the nation or across the world, it would work where men are coming together and, sharpening each other. But I think as far as the masses, no, the masses are going to follow wherever the world's trends is going
I
as
agree.
far as the culture.
I agree.
Yeah.
And you have free thinkers. And free thinkers, I hope you understand what I mean by free thinkers.
Yes,
That's
I'm
a
one.
that's a gift and a curse in today's society, because you can sound
It
like
is.
a hater. You can sound you can bring disruption, disorientation, um, what do you call it? Dissension. You can bring a lot of those things if
Yeah.
you come in with your free thinking self, and because you have nothing to support your free thinking. Everything that is available to us supports that other way of thinking. So as a free thinking man, how do you continue to be a free thinker and not fold?
I think that conviction has to come spiritually. Once you have the magic glasses on, like Dick Gregory said, once you have the magic glasses on, you can't force anyone else to put them on. And once you put them on, you can't take them off to see things as they are. So you're stuck in that. You're free. It's like in that movie, The Matrix. Neo and his whole crew, they were in a ship by themselves, totally away from the real society where there were millions and millions of people. It just is what it is. There is no going back, or there is no trying to change your mind. Once you see the world as it is, and the powers that be, the way they're molding them, you're just in it. You just learn to be. You just try your best to be in the world, but not of the world. You don't let those cultural things influence you. And you try to liberate people one person at a time, in my opinion.
I think the ones that are trying to do that grow tired. because it's an uphill battle trying to get people and you get free thinkers, and outside of your way of thinking, there are other free thinkers who think what makes you think that your way of thinking is not the wrong way, and you can have all of so.
Um,
Go ahead.
it may be the quote unquote wrong way, but what's being produced over in my way of thinking, or those who think like me, the things, the feelings, the mentality that it produces is totally different from what the masses are receiving. Anxiety, depression, all those things that come with living the way society wants you to live. Us free, us free thinkers, we don't experience the same thing emotionally, mentally, spiritually that the masses are. It just gets very lonely at times. People think you're crazy when you talk like this. So your personal convictions have to be reinforced. You have to know who you are, and the more you research
Yes.
truth,
Yes.
whatever that may mean to you, it reinforces that, and your convictions become stronger. Just the magic glasses.
I agree with that.
Pause.
I agree with that. As a fellow free thinker, I have come to the conclusion, and this can sound very conceited. It can. I don't care what people think. I don't care
Yeah,
what people think about what I think. Only because you on this earth for the time that you're on here for, the things that I'm privy to, the things that I experience, that have nothing to do with what you think. It has to do with my everyday walk and what I've gone through, lived through, and learned from, and that's what I pass
yeah,
along. But unfortunately, that is not in alignment with what I see every day. I have taken this stance, right, where I used to do all this. I used to uh, um, share a lot of selfies, right? And I started watching
yeah,
this platform, I won't name it, on YouTube, where I watched these women. I watched so many hours of it. Started to disgust me in a sense. Like, not even disgust me as I'm mad at them for doing it, but it became pointless that all day long I share with you my face. All day long I share with you what I'm wearing, what I'm driving, like, and it has nothing to do with the price of eggs at the end of the day. Nothing to do with that. And I stopped doing it because it started to be stupid to me. And of course, I don't a lot of people don't share that decision with me. This is my first time actually verbalizing it, and my way of
yeah,
thinking when I look at people who do, and I look at the quintessential female who will move the phone around her whole body all day, and she would flicking her hair and show you her makeup and all. Like, I stopped seeing the value in that. I just and
mm,
those who know.
yes. It's false validation, and it's needed. I see men do it too.
Yeah.
The likes and the validation, or the oh look at me, it does something for them, but it's temporary. That's why they got to do it so much.
They got to do it because if once you stop, the build up that you get, if you don't continue that, I'm gonna give you an example. The same thing, but I'm gonna do a analogy, right? Antibiotics. They tell you when you trying to fight an infection, right? You got to do this thing
Yeah,
continuously at the same time. If you do not, you got to start all over because it's a break in that and it
yeah,
doesn't work. I think that's the way social media kind of runs. And
yeah.
there is a focus group that is out to sue Meta, and you can look this up. They're out to sue them because they're trying to prove that social media engagement and involvement does something to the mental health. And
Absolutely.
I'm not convinced that they're wrong.
No, they're not wrong. A lot of people get their identity from it, and then when they're not really posting their real life.
No.
They're not posting when the doctor says, you have lumps in your breast. They're not
Yes.
posting those things.
Yes.
So, it's not real life. But one thing about your personal convictions, when you stay solid in who you are,
Yeah.
consistent in what you do and what you believe, those who are out there in the world, so to speak, that speak loudly and post loudly, they'll come to you privately.
Yeah.
They'll come to you privately for help. Hey, I need to talk to you. Um, hey, I need you to help me to make this decision or that decision. And when you have a lot of those experiences, it re-strengthens your desire to be different.
Stay your course.
Yeah.
Stay your course. I get that too. I feel like this is why I kind of show multifacets. I'm multifaceted. I kind of show those because if I only show what everybody else already see or think or what you can see all day, that's what you'll get. That's the engagement I get.
Yeah.
But when you show that you can, because I can do all that. I can be in line. Right now I can go to OnlyFans and I ain't got to work another day in my life if I felt like it today.
I know that's right.
But I can't do that because the bigger picture. When I was speaking, I don't know how long you've been on here, but I was talking to White Man about the bigger picture. That's not in alignment with my bigger picture.
Right.
And right now money ain't my problem. Or the lack of it is not my problem. So it couldn't solve anything. It could help a little bit, but I think it would become my problem if I got it like that from getting it that way.
Yeah.
So
yeah, it wouldn't. You wouldn't be fulfilled. You would feel as though you lost purpose.
Yes. And I'm one
And
who's
at the end of the day,
I'm one who's trying to understand my purpose daily, hourly, for real.
well, I feel as though that there are people in your life, like the guy that's sitting across from you on a control board. You attach yourself to people like that to help fulfill part of your purpose. Part of your purpose is definitely involving people and reaching masses of people.
I agree with that.
The bigger thing is to find out what exactly do I need to reach. Do I need to reach them from the masses perspective, from the cultural perspective, or do I need to reach them with truths that I know that are inside of me that I hear on the left side of my brain every time I'm doing what the masses want me to do? I still feel that pull from the other side of my brain.
Yep.
Does that make sense?
No, it does. That's my that's my current situation. That's my current situation.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. So it all comes down to a choice eventually. But the thing about the masses that you please, it's going to get sickening to you after a while. I believe that's starting to happen now. It's going to get sickening because it's not producing anything but more lust in the people.
Yeah, lust thing is a double-edged sword too. Because listen, at the end of the day, who doesn't want the self gratification and satisfaction that somebody desires, whatever you are selling or whatever you have? That's all
Yes.
good and fine and well. But when that's all you're doing, which is what we're seeing, we're seeing people. I'm going to circle back. Whose job is to twerk on stage because that's what they do. They started out doing that, and honestly, when that money starts to come, and the way you talk and the way what you're putting down on paper, your money is amassed through that, and now you want to change the fear that you'll lose whatever you gained, and that is definitely going to happen. But the fear is stronger than the need to be different. So you kind of got the puppet. I guess it's puppeteer strings or whatever. You're doing what you have to do to please the people because that's what got you your money. And if you look at a lot of celebrities later on in life, they'll have books that say, "Man, I didn't even want to talk like that. That ain't the music I wanted to put out, but I did because I had to get my foot in the door." And again, I think that goes back to the bigger picture being forgotten. If that makes
I agree.
sense. If that makes sense. So, because I'm going to stick on this topic for a little bit that I'm here. If you want to call back, feel free once I get into this next one, which I think that you will. But
Okay.
I have to speak my piece on it first, and I can't do it while I'm listening to myself in your background. So
Understood. Understood.
go somewhere, but don't go nowhere. Thank you for calling. Okay, so because
Oh, you want to see a fight?
yes. Oh, you got to fight?
I think we
No,
got
no,
it.
no, 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 no. Because Chip is saying like, hopefully we. I think he's scared. Chip is scared. He don't want
It's
to
not
be.
a bad fight, but okay, just to be safe.
Yeah, just,
We don't want to overexpose
but we're not
the
on
media.
Facebook. We're not on Facebook.
Right,
What you think? No.
your call.
Yeah, I already got us in trouble. So let me not. I put that on my
you
page.
you don't want to deteriorate the image.
I don't want to do it. And because now I'm on to something else. So because we're talking about the image of the black woman, Vivian said we as females need to know that our life on stage is just that, and to be left, and it should be left on the stage, and one has to understand their self-worth. So because I said that, and because I asked about the image, the question now becomes: why are men raising their daughters and loving their sons? Why are men raising their daughters, putting the hustle in their women, their daughters, putting hustle in them, putting the giving them the game and all that, and all you doing is loving your son and dapping your son up, as opposed to giving that man the same thing that you would give your daughter.
Okay, where are you seeing that at?
What?
Where are you seeing that?
I see that when I ask people what they want to do in 5 years. And then knowing their dad, and then their daughter, the sister is a workhorse and she's doing all this, and the son is just getting a free ride from the father out of loving them.
Okay, I would say.
Let me ask, okay.
I'm saying it this way. I'll look at it this way. I really think either A, the father is preparing his daughter because of the fact that she may be dealing with deadbeats for all her life.
That's what I'm saying.
So,
and my question to you before you said that was, have your father ever told you don't need no woman?
No.
You don't need no woman.
No.
Fathers tell their daughters that every day. You don't need no man. Do that on your own, man. You don't gotta rely on no man.
Well, again, that's the contradictory part. I just I think either let's put it this way. I think what guys need to teach their daughters is the sense of fact of, yeah, you can show them the hustle and all that stuff, but I think the one thing that's missing and that you didn't state the fact is how a woman should still, how that mother should teach their daughter to still be a lady and how to be respected as a lady. That's what's really missing. I think most of the women nowadays, going back to the prior question, the image of a woman, and you said woman, okay. Mr. Bruce Wayne there, keep thinking it's a black thing. It's not. It's a woman thing. I think that's being deteriorated due to the fact that it's like most of the mothers nowadays still acting a fool, and just trying to claiming their youth for some odd reason. It's like, look, you're a 40 plus 50-year-old woman trying to raise a teenager, and you claiming that you can't handle because you weren't handling when they were 5 or 6. That's your fault. So and because either somehow you felt that whatever your mom was teaching you, trying to be a proper lady, was, is like, nah, you have to be rebellious. There's nothing wrong being a little rebellious, but still add some sophistication to that rebellion somewhere. I've seen some fine-ass rebels around, shout out to Princess Leia. But, but the thing is the fact that you still have to, show some decorum. And I think most of these girls nowadays are being taught by just half of their gene pool, so to speak, because of the fact it's like, yeah, gotta go hard, gotta hustle, can't rely on anybody else, especially no man, and all that stuff. And when your dad's telling you that, and it's being co-signed by the mom, that's a problem.
I agree with you and I disagree with you. Because being a woman of immense femininity, I my femininity is not attractive. It doesn't attract. It's not attractive to. There is I have a heavy masculine side as well, and that is because I was raised by my father for so many years, and my mother was not there to input, which I'm agreeing with you, to input that femininity. I'm not saying I don't have it, but it was not reiterated to me more so than what my father was telling me, and I did not see the femininity side until because my mother was gone for a period of time in my life during those developmental stages where femininity was something that I should have learned from her, and I did not have it. I didn't see it, so I had to. When I had daughters, I had to wean myself off of the heavy masculine side because I am a heterosexual lady, and I do involve myself with men, and I am attracted to masculinity. I had to lessen my masculine side and increase the femininity. Now, but what I will tell you is I don't know what happens in the male home where they prefer the masculinity of a woman. And they prefer it because they encourage it by not doing the things that masculinity, they not doing the things that begets femininity. You make us do this masculine shit and then is offended when I'm masculine. You understand what I'm saying? So
I get your hear me out. So, because as you were talking, I was reminded of a Facebook. I'm not in Facebook jail because I'm a white man, and I saw a meme. I don't know if you remember the TV show Buck Rogers.
yes.
Okay.
I never watched it,
Yeah,
but I've seen
okay.
I can even see the name now.
Yeah. So So the meme was asked, okay, which would you prefer?
Now, Buck Rogers is not the thing that in the movie Ted that he was always talking about, the guy that flew in space. That's not Buck Rogers, is it?
Yeah, he flew in space, but he got lost and he was gone for 500 years.
I think that's the okay.
Yeah,
I think
yeah.
From the movie Ted with the little teddy bear. I think
Yeah, I
he was
remember
talking
that.
about Buck Rogers.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. So he was talking about that. So anyway, so Buck Rogers, the first two women he meets after he finally wakes up is Colonel Deering. He ends up being his, partner,
Okay.
or Princess Ardala, who's trying to seduce him all the time. So
She won a little bit.
yeah. So the thing is, Colonel Deering, has that masculine because she's in the military and things of that nature. But and everyone figures like, oh, yeah, her and Buck, they can work together. Yeah, they can work together. And then the other question was Princess Ardala, fine as fuck.
Okay.
So I threw when I saw that question, I literally said Princess Ardala because she's fine as fuck. Now, in addition to the fact, it's like her femininity just shines out there.
Nice.
Now, I got nothing against Colonel Deering. Nothing. Shout out to Erin Gray. I met her a long time ago. She's a great person.
Oh, she played her.
Yeah, I know
That's
who
Wonder
she
Woman,
is.
right?
No, Erin Gray. No, that
Erin
Wonder
Gray,
Woman. That's Wonder Woman's Linda Carter.
Aaron Gray.
Okay. If you see a picture, you'll see it. But anyway, but like I said, I got nothing against Colonel Deering. She's an impressive woman, but I wasn't fully attracted to that. Now, Princess Ardala, she has some masculinity somewhere when she does get aggressive, but then again, the percentage of femininity of how she walks, how she dresses, being a full-on woman, that's what I'm attracted to. With the masculinity, I can be, if you have some attitude, some whatever, make it just between 10 to 20%. But if you're full on, like, once you get past 50, that's an issue for me. So, there's nothing like,
You gotta add your involvement in that. You have to add your involvement in that. I had to talk with London about that last night because when you start to intertwine your worlds, you got to understand what you don't like about me, and you have to keep the big picture in mind, whereas you don't take me there because it's there. I will diminish that and I will relinquish that when I'm involved with you. I know you don't like it, but I feel like don't poke me. And people forget that. like I try on, and I'm being 1,000% honest with you. I try at all times to maintain my extreme feminine side. I'm unable to do it. I'm unable to go through a whole 24 hours being extremely feminine. You know why? Because there's somebody the fuck out here that won't let that happen. And it is the me thing, yes, because I have to learn and grow. But I feel like there are people who get you fucked up sometime. And men, I challenge men. I'm gonna read these comments in a minute, but I challenge men. Yes, Ted is Flash Gordon. You're right, Beowulf. I challenge men to do things that will attract a woman's feminine side. I implore you to not do things to help engage our masculine side. There's work to do on both sides. I think that especially if you're attracted to femininity, don't put me in a predicament and don't try to join in my life. See all that? See all that? Don't try to intertwine your life with mine and your picture is not the big picture. Because if you don't want this attitude, if you don't want all this shit, line your shit up where it doesn't have to happen. I'm not saying that people don't get weak and things don't take place where I now become more masculine, but I don't want to engage I don't want to be fully engaged. I don't want two niggas in here. I want to be your woman. I want you to be my man. Like, and honestly, I definitely do not want two bitches in here. And I think that I try my best to align myself with men that have masculinity that I'm attracted to. And then when I get that, being feminine ain't even something I'm trying to do. It's something that I am commanded to do because of that man's masculinity. So when I find out that my masculine side takes over more, I figure it's because your feminine side is engaged. And men, they got to stop that shit. They got to stop it. I put a post up the other day and people was like, they got all over me, right? I put it on Twitter, X, or whatever. And I said, nothing makes me sadder or more upset than a whiny ass man. A moody, attitudey, whiny ass man. Why do we have to have that? Why you can't, like, there's a difference between the whine. I see your face and I see the line in your forehead too. There's a difference between a whine and a proper engagement, you telling me what your feelings are without that whine. What the Joe, chill. So go ahead. I don't like it. I don't like it.
Okay, so again, you don't like it.
I don't.
But the thing, what I'm hearing is the fact is like I understand the fact that you want to be engaged. You want your femininity to be activated by a fully on masculine man.
Masculine is relative, so the kind that my femininity reacts to. Let me say that.
Okay. So again, this is where I think, you know, how you were raised is a key part of that. You know, it's like, sadly, I'll treat you like, you know, treat people like a ship and their core system, their masculinity and their femininity. So how it's shaped is depends on, you know, the levels. You see the levels of whatever going, because based on what I'm hearing, it depends on what levels is going up. And you saying the fact is like, I need a man, a masculine man to come in here, and so that way you can increase my feminine side. And it's like, again, isn't that about you? Isn't that supposed to be how you feel? How you, again, initially a guy is attracted to you based off of look, you know, your looks. How that engagement is, it goes in that aspect. Mind you, I've dealt with women who have aggressiveness, but they're not masculine. They're just aggressive. This sense of the fact is like based off of how their attitudes are and all that stuff. This whole talk of, you know, masculine men, feminine men, whatever stuff, or feminine, masculine women and all that stuff, I think is more of a current day of age of talk. I just viewed it as like, I still use the terms of aggressiveness or because of the fact that it's like, I've never dealt with that type of person before, because that's the right adjective to use, because you use like you're just coming at it hard, and not.
And that's relative.
Yeah, it's relative. So by saying it's masculine is, I just think it's like, yeah, we use that word a lot lately because of the fact that it's like that's what a man should be, and we deal with that old school mentality of it's like that macho-ness, and all that stuff. And I don't view it that way. I just think that if you are a woman, you're a woman. And, whatever side you're showing, it really depends on how we interact with each other. Mind you, if you come off looking masculine, meaning dressing all jeans and all that stuff and looking like whatever, but somehow I'm looking at you femininely. Perfect example is Aaliyah. When she first came out, she looked masculine, didn't she? Initially.
She looked tomboyish.
Yeah, it's very tomboyish. That's what we.
That's another word too.
Yeah, that's another word. So, but tomboyish, but still, it's like we all viewed her as it's like something about her. And when she starts slowly changing and peeling the layers
and
off
her
of
full femininity.
Yeah, being a woman. Let's put it that way. She got out of her those teen years and got away from R. Kelly for that matter, and start being a full-fledged woman. Then we realized it's like, okay, we can see the full woman in her because that's what she always has and always will be. Rest in peace. But I just think that that's what we're kind of losing the fact of. We keep if you view it as a male and a female entity aspect of a person, you're constantly going to lose the fact that it's like this person is an actual whoever this person, human being is.
Say that again. And this is the climate for that. This is the climate for that. But I'm going to tell you something. Unfortunately, that word, aggression, assertive, what you were saying, like you don't like to use that word, those things to me is like, I don't care what this is. It's still a cup. You can call this a vessel. You can call it a vehicle to hold your drink. It's all still a fucking cup. And I think you can use the words that satisfy your palate, and you can say aggression and assertive and abrasive, masculine. To me,
I didn't say it like that.
I mean, sorry, whatever satisfies your palate. Whatever.
I'm not a whiny man.
You a whiny man. You can use those words, but Aaliyah was a great example, but then it wasn't because she was doing what she had to do when she got her foot in the door, which just circles back to what we was talking about earlier. But I feel like dressing a way and a way of being is two different things, and you just said that. The way she dressed, she kind of looked or whatever, but you said something about her is underneath there, and that's what I'm saying. When you want to engage that part, activate that part of someone, you do things that speak to that, as opposed to now you don't want to work. And I'm speaking about the things that will make me activate my masculinity. You don't want to work, and now I got to take care of everything. You don't want to do this, now you don't have no input on what's going on. You don't give a fuck day to day. You just chilling and blah, blah, blah. And I've had that. I've come home and the niggas on the couch. I've had that. And I feel, and that activated my, I believe, the testosterone pieces that I got in me, they started to multiply. Now I got to be different.
Way I see it is, I think you dealt with just some ratchet ass people who don't know how to do anything. So
they're out here.
Yeah, they're out. That I do agree with.
Uh-huh.
But again, it's like, now the thing is it's like, for me, I personally never dealt with that because of the fact is like everyone can say because like, well, I had both parents and all that stuff. That's fine. But then again, it's like I just feel like within me, I felt like, look, I need to be out there. I need to constantly be active and working and all that stuff. I don't want to be half-assed doing a lot of things because of that's my nature. Not because of how I was nurtured. It's just my nature. So,
you think so?
Yes.
You know,
because keep in mind,
that's an age-old fight now.
Yeah,
nature versus nurture.
The days of trading places. So yes, is it your nature or nurture?
Yeah.
So the nurture part, yes, is like, yes, here's the thing with my parents, they taught me things up to a point. Meaning the fact is like they allowed me to sort of grow and view things how I should view it things. My dad could have literally told me to be this, do it this way, all that stuff, if he wanted to. He didn't. So, and he allowed me to sort of pretty much beat my own path, so to speak. But still, he's sort of like, here's the path. I created a path for you.
Beat it.
Yeah, but you can walk it away how you walk it. But I'll be back here. I got you. But follow that, follow the path the way you want to follow it. That's me. So with a lot of people nowadays, I think a lot of people are being controlled what path they should follow. Main point is like a lot of single mothers with sons, they trying to control them into this path because the fact is like, yeah, they have no dad, so I got it, because they're forced to teach them this way because that's the only way they felt. Without their father, they make excuses for that path for their son to walk on, which really didn't need to. No, in a good percentage there is.
So why are men raising their daughter? Why are people raising their daughters and loving their sons? That is exactly what I'm saying.
I think because of the question, to answer properly answered is the fact of, again, how the society has created a fact of a lot of single parenting. I did not just say black society. I just said society in general. A lot of single family homes. We keep encouraging our women to pretty much fend for themselves because, again, we still view them as, they're the nurturers. They're the ones who pretty much, take care of everything at the home. And instead of losing the aspect and understanding the fact that in this day and age, it's like they can't do this by themselves. And also the fact that, we do provide a lot for single mothers, but never single parents. And meaning adding the single father handling the situation. We never ever fully talk about it. We never fully endorse those things with single fathers because we figured like, that is beyond us because we think that fathers do not nurture.
I don't think that. I think that.
Yeah, you don't, but the majority of society do.
I'm gonna, and you can't speak for the majority of society because I'm gonna give you another layer. And what I notice about you is you represent one way of thinking, right? I challenge you to either meet more people or see another side of things. And the other side I'm going to present to you is this. I feel, and I think in my experience with these single men is that a lot of people tend to put more on a man being a man. Like you shouldn't need this because you're a man. You're supposed to, you make more money. You need to go out here and you need da. And I think that becomes a problem too, where the support, and most, we make it where men are embarrassed to ask for support. We make it that too. You understand what I'm saying?
I agree, yes.
So
that's what I'm saying. We're, like I said, being a man is a lot harder than a lot of people think. You make it seem as easy because everything has been set up by man, but really it's like, and like again, things have changed since God knows when. So, in this day and age, there is a lot of crazy elements that is highly difficult for a man to teach and nurture their sons more ways than he would for their daughters, because for a man, because I'm not a man. Okay. The thing is I think we assume that teaching a son how to talk to a woman and taking care of them and all that stuff is simple, and it isn't, because we have to deal with a new age of woman here, the masculine woman, so to speak, and trying to engage with that. I feel like trying to talk to a son that way, to tell him it's like, if you still teach him the aspects of being respectful and all that stuff, the woman will counter everything. It's like, he's a wimp, he's a wuss, he ain't man enough because he treated me like a lady. And it's like, so which, it makes that person, that son confusing.
That's 50% because that is half of it. You do get some who will say that, but then you get some, if you teach your son that out the gate, will activate the femininity part in a woman.
How would he know that? Because
no. You're asking. I'm going to tell you.
Okay.
I'm going to tell you how he know that. Because you don't stop at one. Everybody is not me. Everybody is not you. There are people who are not taught what we're speaking of, and they will leave on that note and say, man, she not even responsive to that, as opposed to going around the corner where you meet a London or you meet a Brittany who operate in their full femininity, you didn't meet them because you stopped at one. And the father, when you're teaching your son this, you have to give them both sides. Son, I have to give it to my daughters too, baby. Every man is not going to love the part in you that I love you like I love you. Every man is not going to understand the positives or understand who you are as a full woman. Every man is not going to understand why you are this way or try to. You got to do the same thing with your boys.
I understand that. I understand that.
Okay.
But again, one, I've always said this, it depends on your circles. Because if you remain in your circle for your majority of your life and you really don't get the chance to see different type of people, if you just deal with the same type of people you've been dealing with all your life, in your mindset, you are pretty much staying in the fact that, like, this is all I got. And then you have these conversations just like, I can't find a good man or I can't find a good woman. Why? Because you're still stuck in damn Hoboken, wherever you're at. So I always literally say this is the fact is like I've always said this about my parents, and especially my dad, because he got, he had the job to do this. I highly commend him for taking my family out of this damn country, because of the fact is like I got to see different people, I got to know different people, and deal with their lives and different cultures and all that stuff to help me grow as a person and understanding the fact of how to deal with society the way it is even now. For those who still stuck in Hoboken, either A, quit denying yourself the ability and the opportunities of getting out of Hoboken and go to Chattanooga, across the street, because that way you at least get the chance to see different people, and it will help you nurture yourself to engage in different people that way.
Okay, well, there's two sides to that. You had to leave the country. I had to leave Michigan and come to Maryland, which is a melting pot.
Even that.
Hear me out. In Michigan, there's two type of people in Michigan. Okay? There are our ethnic group that is most popular and where I'm from was the Arabs. Those people it wasn't Spanish people, it wasn't Africans, it was Arabs. And when I got out of Michigan and I came here and started realizing, I'm not saying I didn't realize they were Spanish or Puerto Ricans or Latinas, or I didn't meet them. I didn't engage with them. They wasn't part of my everyday. I come here and anything that you want, any continent you want to hit is in this area. So I can understand other languages that I've never even went to school to understand. I can understand other dialects only from being around these people. I have cultural food differences from being around these people. I didn't have to leave here to do that. And honestly, there are some of us who are fortunate enough that even though we didn't go anywhere, you still have patience for other people and cultures and things, and you don't have to leave here to get that. And when I talk to you sometime, I kind of get you a millennial. I kind of get that from you, and I know you in your 40s, and I know you not, but your way of thinking, and I will be interested. And this is not. If I'm out of line, please tell me. I would be very interested in knowing how you grew up as a child and what you dealt with, because you are a very hard person to convince, other than your way of thinking. I don't know if that's the Aries in you. I don't know if that's the man in you. I don't know. But that comes from and this is my my psychiatry background that tells me some you dealing with something. You've dealt with something that doesn't allow you to see outside of that or understand that because I may speak the way I speak, or because I may not have the open lane for that, doesn't mean I don't understand it. And you very hard. You hard.
Wait, you're trying to view how I don't understand what you're understanding?
No. I'm trying to understand why you don't understand that my understanding comes from other than what you had to go through to understand.
I understand that.
Because you said people stuck in Hoboken and blah, blah, blah. And that's why I brought up, like, I didn't have to leave here.
Okay. I didn't say, again, me leaving a different country, that's one thing.
Yes.
I'm telling people who never even left their damn neighborhood and not go to either another neighborhood or another state or wherever. I mean, for you and I, it is kind of the same thing. I'm telling people this is like people who never left their freaking neighborhood. they've been there since they were born and never left there. And for
And
that,
what's your beef with that? Like,
my beef with that is just like, for you to complain is like, oh, things are boring, things I can't get out of here. You making excuses of not leaving and not be able to elevate not only yourself, but not be able to even try to elevate other people to even leave.
You attribute that them not wanting to leave to their upbringing from their fathers?
I believe so, because of the fact is like, whatever excuses they make for themselves, they don't leave. And there are opportunities out there for them to do that. You know, again, just to leave the neighborhood, another neighborhood.
Whose decision was it for you to leave?
That was my parents, because
I
was 12.
Of course.
But again, if you are
had that never happened to you, we would not be having this conversation. I don't think you were.
I would agree. I would agree with that.
That's what I'm saying. That's another lane.
But what I'm saying, But again, I'm saying is like, in this day and age, there's a lot more opportunities outside of this damn device that everyone carries in their purse or their back pocket.
Yes.
And, you know, for you to, again, I always say this, is like, your eyes need to see something different. So how to engage with a masculine woman and try to, you know, bring that femininity outside, you know, bring that femininity out is like, I'm still going to be me. I'm going to still, you know, because based off of what I have, you know, learned throughout my years, is the same fact. It's like, if you're attracted to that, then great. We can keep fully engaging and all that stuff. But if not, I'm going to try to find my Princess Ardala somewhere else.
But see, that's what I said earlier. Like, okay, the femininity in me, that's just what it is. I don't have to. I don't chase, I attract. So I'm attracted. That is what it is. That's my kismet. That's my magnet. That's my thing. And that's all I was trying to say. Look like we only got 1 minute left, y'all. I thank everybody for showing up. This is another fine week. Another fine Monday. Y'all talk to Tone, and we see when Tone come back. Y'all stick with me and stay with me. We're going to have to pick this back up again. I see y'all comments, and I will respond to your comments. I've seen every last one of them.
Or call, damn it. We got a number.
Yeah, so when Tone is not here, feel free to call early. I'm Kiki, and that is Magic Eraser, and we just argued for 27 minutes flat, and we're going to do it again next week. I see y'all. Y'all have a good day.